shouldn't have been.
More freshman comes in, makes a lot of tackles. Colson's been tackling well.
Yeah.
You have to be happy with that aspect of your secondary, especially.
Yeah. Rod Moore, also a freshman, did a nice job getting some guys on the ground. Just taking a good angle and really, everybody that went into that game, did something in the ball game to help us win because it was that type of game. It was that hard fought.
All right, well, good luck in Maryland, and we'll talk to you next week before the Ohio State game. It's Jim Harbaugh here, Stony and Jansen program 97 on the ticket.
Tonight at 7, the Detroit Pistons face the Indiana Pacers at Little Caesars Arena. 97.1 The Ticket's Wojo and Rieger broadcast live starting at 6. Get your tickets for every home game at Pistons.com. Details at 971theticket.com. WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Hall Financial. The Red Wings losing their game and their captain last night in Dallas. A 5-2 setback to the Stars, which saw Dylan Larkin removed from the game due to COVID protocol between the second and third periods. Detroit giving up 2 goals after that, including an empty netter.
All those hard shots stay out. And a long one, probably 190 feet, just slowly like a curling rock going towards the goal and bangs off the inside of the goalpost. The Dallas Stars now a 5-2 lead.
Ken Cowell and Paul Woods were on the call last night right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Also, coach saying that they're not sure of the status of Dylan Larkin for their upcoming game tomorrow night. Some early adversity for Michigan basketball, giving up a late lead and surrendering their home game to Seton Hall, 67-65. The Pirates' first ever victory on the road against a top 5 non-conference team. Some late missed free throws helping doom the Wolverines. However, some better news for Michigan before the game. The program announcing they've signed head coach Juwan Howard to a 5-year contract extension that runs through 2025-26. To football, Eastern with a big rally at home to beat Western at the Factory, 22-21. With a big turnover and a 20-yard field goal with about 4 minutes to go. The Eagles now 7-4. The Broncos are 6-5. Michigan and Michigan State football's placement in the playoff rankings remaining unchanged. The Wolverines sitting at number 6, the Spartans number 7, Georgia, Bama, Oregon, Ohio State, and Cincinnati are the top 5. And the Lions make a change at kicker after multiple misses this past Sunday. They bring aboard Riley Patterson from the New England practice squad. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live in the Jamie Samuelson Studios, Stony and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Good morning, and welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Stony and Jansen program with Greg Hargrave, the Governor Tom Milliken, Heather Park, John Jansen. I am Michael Stone. How are you, everyone?
Good morning, Mr. Stone.
What's going on?
Heather, how are you?
Good morning. I'm doing fabulous. How are you boys?
Good. I walked out of the house this morning. Yesterday was a little chilly. This morning was a nice surprise. It was very moderate.
It's better. It's better when it's moderate.
Yes.
Absolutely. The world would be much better if everybody was moderate. We'd be getting along a lot better. The world would be moderate. You'd have whack jobs on the right, whack jobs on the left. We'd be stuck in the middle with me.
Yes.
You know? Anyway, I asked how you're doing, and yes, I'm doing better than Dylan Larkin. I can't figure this out. Just another one of the idiosyncrasies of COVID. As Chris Villar reported just now in the update, Wings lose 5-2. Behind 3-0, Zadina and Larkin scored in the second period. Cut the game to 3-2, and then Larkin does not play the rest of the game because he's put in COVID protocol. Now, I am certainly the furthest thing from a doctor that you know, but just, I don't know, human behavior would suggest let him play the third period and then put him in protocol. You know what happens? Does the test come back in the middle of the game?
I don't know if it must
And obviously,
have.
if it's serious or if his health is more important, I understand.
Right. No, but the issue is playing in the
first two periods, and then all of a sudden he becomes a threat in the third period.
Right. I mean, now they play in Vegas on Thursday, game 3 of a 4-day road trip. He won't be. Can't go to Vegas. That's obvious now.
Well, what is the protocol if you've been vaccinated? Because we know obviously there's only one that's not vaccinated, and it's not Dylan Larkin.
Correct.
So is it 2 negative tests within 24 hours? I think that's what the NFL's is.
Blashill said after the game, a few answers. Larkin was to stay in Dallas, so that means he can't travel with the team. And says, "quote, we have to figure out exactly where everything stands, talk to Eiserman and figure out what's going on. Players who are vaccinated are subject to PCR testing at least every 72 hours, while unvaccinated players, which Bertuzzi, the one red NHL player, tested daily. For NHL protocols, a person whose COVID-19 positive status has been confirmed shall remain in isolation, shall not exercise, and shall not participate in any training activity or have any contact, other than remotely, with any other personnel for the duration of their isolation."
What's the duration?
So I'm trying to find
Yeah,
out.
so that's the thing, because it's what is it, 10 days and then a negative test if you're non-vaccinated, but if you're vaccinated, I believe it's 2 negative tests within 24 hours of each other.
Right. The Ottawa Senators had games postponed because they were hit pretty hard. They had multiple players. They were forced to postpone 3 games. 10 players and an assistant coach tested positive over the past 10 days.
That's too bad.
Yeah. They could use his offense, but like I said, it's just asymptomatic and fine. And that's the most important thing. They certainly did not come out playing very well, falling behind 3-0. But they lose 5-2, including an empty net goal. First of all, the game was on like ESPN Plus, which was like, really? Which I do subscribe to, but I'm lying in bed and I'm,
Someone left it to get to.
yeah, and I watched it on my phone because I had both the exciting game of my alma mater getting trounced by Georgetown in the second half up and Michigan basketball. So,
Yeah.
watching the Red Wings.
Just need another TV in there.
On the bedroom. Maybe one of the bedroom.
I think Michigan's 3-point shooting was in COVID protocols.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, they don't have a lot of great three-point shooters to begin with, and that could be the problem. And well, as you mentioned, Michigan blows an 11-point lead in the second half. They lose 67-65 to Seton Hall. Their bench was outscored 37-9, including I think 13 by Trey Jackson, who at Western scored for Missouri and then transferred to Seton Hall. Yes, Michigan's three-point shooting 3 for 15 from 3-point.
Yep.
That's not good. And they don't have any. It's crazy. It's one game. It's November. And I don't think they made a big deal. It's the rematch. 1989
Yeah.
championship game.
Yeah. It's a novelty, and
Yes.
that's it.
Look, Seton Hall.
Although it did come down to a couple free throws.
Yes, it did. Unfortunately, Terrence Williams was not Romeo Robinson.
Exactly.
Seton Hall just waiting in the wings, finally getting their revenge 32 years later.
Yeah, I know. Most of the people in the student section, they weren't born yet, and obviously,
Yeah.
How did Ramon Ramos do this?
Rama, I don't know. He didn't play that much. He was in COVID protocol.
Andrew Gaze.
Andrew Gaze. That was
He wasn't even. He had to stay in Australia, right?
Right. Their best player was what? John Morton.
In that game, yeah. He was talking about an out of nowhere performance. Guy was off the hook.
Yeah, he was great. That came down to controversial calls, as we know.
Yeah, that's one of the calls that Michigan fans or local sports fans in general don't say. Oh yeah, we got the benefit there.
Right. Although the NCAA committees they watched the Michigan Seton Hall game and they decided that even though Michigan lost statistically, they were better, so they gave them the win.
Michigan's still higher ranked than Seton Hall after last night.
Exactly. Hunter Dickinson did have 18 points. Eli Brooks played well. He had 17. But other than that, Devontae Jones, it's still a work in progress.
Sure.
The problem that I saw watching the game, they didn't space the floor very well, especially compared to Seton Hall, who's, they didn't shoot great from the three, but they took 30 of them as opposed to Michigan's 15. So their percentage was a little bit better, obviously, but, they took more.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were wide open.
Well, they were wide open, and Michigan just didn't shoot well. And the looks that they had, it's not like they didn't have good looks either. I didn't feel like they were forcing the three-pointer.
No.
They were trying to let it come to them. They were taking them as they were, but they just couldn't knock them down when they had them.
With the floor not spaced, in my mind, properly, they couldn't move the ball around to get the threes, and that's why, you're right, they didn't take a lot of it.
Right.
But the big story coming out of University of Michigan basketball, you have to say, is Juwan Howard.
Oh, yeah.
Juwan Howard getting an extension to the end of 2026.
Yep.
And I think it's great. I mean, he's going to go to the NBA. He's going to do this. He can always still leave. I'm sure there's buyout provisions. But the 2026 end of the contract is very interesting because his son, his youngest son, who is the top recruit, is committed to the University of Michigan. If he plays there all 4 years, then we're talking about Jet, with 2 T's, Howard.
Yep. He'll be graduating.
He'll be graduating in 2026, and so that's when Juwan Howard might be willing to go to the NBA. So he's this is year 3, 4 more, 7 years. I'd like to see it more. I mean, you think it's a Michigan fan, but who knows?
He's going to go to the NBA and draft Jet
Howard, exactly.
There you go. I think it's I don't know if they had talked about, hey, I want, if my son does ultimately come here, I want to be here, secured through the 2026 expiration date.
Right.
But you see this a lot with all of the coaches and really all of the sports, and it's probably not as frequent in basketball because there's more guys that leave early. But when you recruit, you want to be able to say, I'm going to be here for your entire time.
Right.
It just so happens that that happens to be the same.
Yeah.
If there's going to be other kids in that class, it's going to be the same selling pitch.
Yeah. So look, they're they look good. The first game they played against Buffalo, who's favored to win the MAC. Seton Hall probably a little better. I mean, Seton Hall usually plays tough, especially under Kevin Willard. When I was reading, he said he watched the Michigan Seton Hall championship game like 5 times. Just because it was a great game.
Yeah, it was a great game.
It was a really
motivation.
Yeah.
32 years later.
They definitely seem more into it on the side. As usually happens when you upset a top 5 team on the road during the game, and it goes from 11 to 5 to 3, and their bench was fired up. And
the disappointing part is, 3 of 15 from behind the arc. That's disappointing. There's a few other things that you could point out, but it's simply giving away an 11-point lead late in the game. And it was whether it was inopportune turnovers, missed shots, breakdowns on defense. I think that's going to be probably my biggest takeaway from that game is making sure that in the future, and by future I mean in the coming weeks, that this doesn't become a trend of this team, that they're able to build a lead but they can't hold it.
The college football playoff rankings came out yesterday, and top one's pretty much the same as before.
Yeah, no real surprises.
Exactly. So it was interesting though, because they did ask Gary Barta once again about the Michigan State thing, and here's what he had to say.
Yes, it's a tough question.
Set aside watching the games, that's certainly a part of it, but statistically, in just about every category, offensively and defensively, Michigan comes out on top over Michigan State. Again, it certainly is understood and considered that Michigan State beat Michigan, but at the end of the day, the committee added another game this week, and the committee decided that Michigan is still needed to be ranked a game ahead of Michigan State. Next week, we'll come back and we'll look at it again.
Set aside watching the game. Okay, that's kind of an important thing when you make subjective arguments. Set aside watching the game. Yeah. And by the way, one other thing, Mel Tucker was part of the program. They had him on as a guest, so they asked him, should head-to-head matter?
I think it's important. That's why you play the games, right? And So we got it done against the school down the road at our place, and I think that means something.
Down the road. I
could care less.
To me, it's so sophomoric. It's like Brady Hoke, Ohio. It's Ohio State. You can say it. Those words can come out of your mouth. Ohio State. You don't have to say Ohio. You don't have to say the school up the road. It's not. You're not gonna. People aren't gonna invade your house and steal your belongings if you say Michigan. It's just anyway. Heather has news coming up next.
It irritates you. I might start saying Ohio all next week just to irritate you.
Good. I will be irritated. Heather, what's going on with news?
Well, I'm going to have some local news, some celebrity news, and I'm going to tell you how you can celebrate a big birthday at McDonald's tomorrow.
All right. 97.1 the ticket.
Basketball fans, celebrate the NBA's 75th anniversary season on FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can place their first bet risk-free, and if you don't win, you're going to get up to $1,000 back. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, now is the perfect time to give it a shot. Take a look at the same game parlays. It's easy to find. Any of the things that you want to put together, just look for the SGP icon. You can put together player stats, like point total, rebounds, assists. You can put together money line, over, under, point spread, whatever it is, whatever your little heart desires, go ahead and do it. That's why I think everybody should be betting on FanDuel. And here's a few other reasons. It's easy to use. You get fast withdrawals, odds boosted, daily specials all the time. Live betting, keep you interested throughout the entire game. There's no better place to bet on the NBA than FanDuel. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code Jansen to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000 back and make every moment more this NBA season. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 97.1 The Ticket. Must be 21 or over and present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. Refund issued does not withdraw site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook at Motor City Casino. Sports betting in a sports setting. There's an accident on the left shoulder, 275 southbound just after 6 Mile. Also reports of several vehicles on the shoulder with flat tires out on 94 eastbound after M39. Make every play count with NFL live betting at FanDuel Sportsbook at the Motor City Casino. Live betting lets you in on the action all game long. Even if you missed opening kickoff, you can still place all your favorite bets for money line, point spreads, over-unders, and more. Visit today or download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet you deserve for $20 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine, faster downloads, more streaming, the possibilities are endless. That's more speed and you'll save hundreds over AT&T. Plus, ask how to get an eligible 5G phone on us. And for a limited time, $300 back. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Ends 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment taxes is extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Compares monthly service charge for Xfinity 600 megabits per second to AT&T 500 megabits per second each with one unlimited mobile line per year as of 10/6/21. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of mobile usage.
Wouldn't it be nice if there was one provider for all your business technology needs? For local businesses, that company is Applied Imaging. Applied Imaging, copiers, printers, network support, and other IT services, document management and paperless office solutions, document destruction, and much more. Applied Imaging, serving Michigan and Northern Ohio business people for 3.5 decades with world-class hardware and software manufacturers and award-winning service. For years, you've heard well over 100 Applied Imaging customers on the radio talking about how Applied Imaging has improved their business. Along with fast and friendly service, our customers discuss how Applied Imaging has made their business more efficient and their employees more productive with innovative technology solutions. Applied Imaging, a one-stop source for all your business technology needs and people that want to help your business be more successful. Call Applied Imaging today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedimaging.com.
Hi, this is Rachel with Kroger. Join us in our first annual You can visit any local Kroger store to donate. All proceeds will provide food to families in need right here in Michigan. Thank you for helping end hunger with us.
To 2457 Washington Avenue.
This view was worth the hike.
Turn left onto West 12th.
It's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
It's November 2021. I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And with the chance of mortgage interest rates on the rise, you don't want to miss out on your opportunity to lock in a low rate. Call Hall Financial today to see if you qualify for our no appraisal 8-day close. Our commitment to speed and client service has earned us nearly 4,000 five-star reviews. Get started now at 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Hall Financial, NMLS ID 1467435, Equal Housing Lender.
What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries starting at just $79.99. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Let your voice be heard. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket studio line at 248-539-9797. The D Las Vegas, the home for Detroit sports in Vegas. TJ Lang joins Stoney and Jansen Mondays at 9 on 97.1 The Ticket.
Like we mentioned, college basketball last night at Chrysler Seton Hall over Michigan 67-65. NHL, the Stars over the Red Wings 5-2. Zadina and Larkin scoring the goals. Larkin did not play the third period. He was put in COVID-19 protocol. Wings back in action in Vegas tomorrow night. Pistons home at the LCA this evening against the Indiana Pacers. And the college football playoff rankings came out yesterday, and as far as the top 7, they did not change.
Nope. Yes.
All right. Heather Park has news. What's up, Heather?
I do. There's a home daycare in Garden City that has had its license suspended after a child put another child into the dryer, into a clothes dryer, and turned it on. Oh no. It sounds like everyone is okay, which is the good news, but still,
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
So according to an investigation by the Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, the woman who runs the daycare knew of the incident, but didn't tell the child's parents. Okay? So apparently back on August 4th, this woman who runs the daycare, she brought a child to a hospital and expressed to a nurse that she was stressed out because that child put another child into the dryer and turned it on. It sounds like that might have been her own kid. It called that child a minor household member, so I don't think it was another daycare member. It was probably one of her own children. And then in September, the little kid that was put to the dryer finally told her mom about the whole incident. She described it as being hot, and it was dark, and it hurt her back. The poor little kid, so the investigation, found numerous violations at this daycare, including lack of appropriate care and supervision, wooded area in Charlevoix County's Melrose Township. Officials say that the plane disappeared from radar. It was on its way to the Boyne City Airport. So far, the cause of the crash hasn't been revealed. It's still under investigation. But just another sad story. This comes just after the crash that we discussed yesterday on Beaver Island that left 4 people dead. So just a sad incident. A Detroit man was arrested for spending 4 hours walking around a Troy Walmart with a knife. So according to Troy police, they were called back on November 7th on reports of a suspicious man who was, quote, making guests and employees uncomfortable. So this guest was actually approached by some store security officers, and he allegedly told them that the next time he's going to show up to the store with a gun instead of his knife. So police came to the store. They did find that he did in fact have a knife on him. They also found that he had outstanding warrants, so he was arrested, taken to jail. He was charged with carrying a dangerous weapon with unlawful intent and disturbing the peace. I get that.
Yes, absolutely.
Watch somebody walk around, and especially if he's walking around with the knife out. Definitely make me a little uncomfortable. Yeah.
Brandishing. That's great.
I know.
At least it wasn't a machete.
Yeah, exactly.
Right side.
Yeah, it wasn't a machete. Pfizer is asking U.S. officials to authorize its experimental pill for COVID-19. So this treatment was shown in their clinical trials to reduce the risk of hospitalization and death by 89% in people at high risk of severe illness. So if this pill is authorized by the FDA, this would just be, another major step towards managing the pandemic and returning back to some normalcy. Pfizer has requested authorization for the treatment for only unvaccinated individuals at this time because during their trials, vaccinated people were not included. So right now, they've only tested this on people who have not been vaccinated against COVID.
So if this gets, cleared to use, would they need a card saying that they're a pill taker as opposed to being that vaccinated? I mean,
I don't know how. Yes, I know exactly what you mean. So I know that it's a series of 3 pills taken. You have to take 2 daily for 5 days. You have to take it early after you've already tested positive for COVID. So, or I guess 3 to 5 days, maybe not even after. It says 3 to 5 days after you've been experiencing symptoms. So I'm guessing most likely if you've experienced symptoms, you're going to go take a test, and then you're going to want to get this pill. I don't know if you have to go to the hospital, you have to be admitted to get this. Those are questions I don't have the answers to yet, Stoney. But
I mean, if they have a card, it could just say I've already had it, so I have the antibodies.
right. But here's my question: is the people that are, and I'm just asking this, I'm not judging. If you're not going to take the vaccine, does the pill make you take the pill?
No, I think it's a treatment. It's not.
I think it's a treatment. Yeah, it's not something you're just going to take.
It's not going to. You're not going to take it to prevent getting. It's a treatment after you've had it.
Okay.
Yes, so that your symptoms don't get severe enough where you're going to need to stay in the hospital, need to be on a ventilator. So this is for people who, exactly, it's not a prevention, it's a treatment.
But it gets rid of COVID, so you won't be passing on to somebody else.
No, it doesn't get rid of COVID. It reduces your symptoms.
Your body, your natural immunity is what gets rid of the COVID.
So that it reduces your symptoms so that you're not severely sick.
Or immune system.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful. You don't want to get caught like you're in Honduras. That's right.
So, you guys, it turns out that LeVar Burton is going to be a game show host after all. It's not obviously going to be on Jeopardy. We know that. There was lots of drama surrounding that. There was a lot of people that wanted to see him be the permanent host, but it turns out there's another game show that wants him. It was announced on Tuesday that he's going to be the host of a new Trivial Pursuit show, and he's also going to be the executive producer.
Oh, wow, okay.
So another trivia show, pretty cool. He said that, quote, Trivial Pursuit is one of the best-known brands in the gaming universe, and he is thrilled to have partnered with Hasbro and E1 to bring this beloved game to the market as a premium show for television. So far, however, while the show is coming to life, it hasn't been picked up by a network quite yet. So hopefully that will happen in the future, very soon future for him. But, I love a good trivia game show, so
Oh, yeah.
the merrier.
I loved playing Trivial Pursuit years ago. I haven't played in a long
Seriously.
I have a Disney version in the closet right now. I like that one. I can play that. There's a teen version as well. Or I have a 90s pop culture. I like those ones, the traditional. It's a hard game.
Yes.
Very hard game. Listen to this, you guys. The Egg McMuffin is turning 50 years old. And to celebrate, you can actually go and get one at its original price. So on Thursday, McDonald's will be offering them for just 63 cents.
All right.
How much they were when they came out.
63 cents.
Ronald.
That's more than I
Yeah,
thought
so-
it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a quarter. Yeah, 63 cents. I just was, I was in my mind playing obviously we know I don't do a good job with that by setting lines, so why would I be accurate on that?
I wonder if they're going to do I could get a sausage McMuffin without the egg. No, I don't like eggs in sandwiches.
What?
I don't think so.
I'm not an egg for
I know it took you a while to get to eggs, but you don't like eggs? I love an egg sandwich.
Me too. I love eggs. I mean, any form of them I do love. So the only thing, though, with this, there is a catch. If you want to go take advantage of this deal, you have to order it through the McDonald's app and then pick it up at the store. So you can't just go to the drive-thru or go in and say, hey, I want an Egg McMuffin for 63 cents. You have to order it beforehand. And, of course, you have to do that during normal breakfast hours as well.
Oh, yes. Don't do it at 10:30. And don't talk to anyone.
Yes, the McDonald's Gestapo is unbelievable with that.
We don't want you talking to us or ordering breakfast after 10:30.
The other thing, John, is some of the stores, they're not all you can get in.
No, that's why you got to use the app. You can't, the inside isn't even open.
Oh, that's what I mean. So if you want to use the app, are they going to bring it to you?
Well, yeah, I think you can drive. There are specific parking spaces for mobile pickup. You go to those, or you can sit in line at the 25-car deep drive-thru.
All right, thank you very much, Heather. Coming up next, it's time for the Wide 9 and 97.1 The Team.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Pro Football Sunday, Carolina, 3.5-point home favorite against Washington, total 42.5. How can this number be above 3? Carolina just brought back their old starting quarterback. Awesome. Is this really going to be the number in this game? Just a ridiculously easy bet to make on Washington. Carolina could easily cover the spread, could win the game by double digits. Just that. This is never a bet that I want to make. Carolina -3 or -3.5. The play coming up on Sunday, if you can get Washington +3.5, even would take this at +3 and feel really good about it. So Washington +3 or 3.5 coming up Sunday, Carolina. That's it for this Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Check out the latest lines today at BetRivers.com. I'm Nick Costos. Keep it locked here for more throughout the day. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
In Huntington, we've been asking ourselves, is it possible to lend money at 0 interest? And it totally is. Introducing Standby Cash. When you need extra cash, you can qualify for between $100 and $1,000 in Huntington. And it's free when you auto pay us back across 3 months. Why would a bank do that? Just to look out for people. That's how we reinvent banking. Huntington, welcome. Without automatic payments, 12% APR. Eligibility requirements apply. Amount available is based on customer eligibility. Learn more at huntington.com/standby.
In 10 miles, if you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. We also provide pre-screened quality tenants to our property owners. We love to match good people to good homes. Contact us today, northbloomfield.com.
We travel to see what's around the bend and what we're capable of. And now Capital One's new classic travel card can keep up with you. Introducing Venture X from Capital One. With 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy. Venture X, for those always asking, where next? Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details. With just one spray of Microban 24, your hard surfaces are sanitized for up to 24 hours. Touch after touch after touch.
So 6 hours from now?
Still sanitized.
12 hours?
Yep.
18 hours.
We're really doing this.
24 hours.
When used as directed, one spray of Microban keeps killing 99.9% of bacteria touch after touch for up to 24 hours.
Pac-12, for those in the Big Ten, it still holds a special place in our hearts, but probably for only those that are over the age of 40. I mean, this comes down to money, money. And when you take it in that context of you're going to sell more, it's just going to raise more money for the conference, for the teams, for the bowl, for all that stuff. It all comes down to money.
Well, Michigan State, I mean, they pack that, they travel really well, so I don't think ticket sales has anything to do with it, to be honest.
Well, the Rose Bowl's going to sell out no matter what, right? No matter who's there.
All right, if the Wolverines and Spartans both run the table and Alabama and Oregon both lose, there's a good chance that both Michigan and Michigan State would make the college football playoff. And there's a possibility they'd play in the semifinals. Would a Michigan State playoff game be the most anticipated sporting event in this state's history?
I gotta say yes, and here's why. Because we've hosted Super Bowls, but none of our teams, and that would be the Lions, have been in the Super Bowl. Stanley Cups, you've had those, but it's between one team that's here. The World Series, the same thing. I mean, you go right down the list. This is going to be two teams from the same state, up and down the road. Just for you, Stoney. And it's also because of the expectations of where these teams came from. The buildup has been so big. If one team makes the college football playoffs, whatever they do in the college football playoffs is going to be much anticipated and unexpected. Both teams, and you have a matchup, especially with all of that came out of the first one. Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, I remember the possibility that they would play in the Final Four one year, and that was, people were like, crazy about that, the anticipation with that. I would say yes with one caveat, and that caveat would be, and you mentioned it, but we don't think it'll ever happen, the Lions in the Super Bowl. I think that would be the only thing that would trump that.
Maybe even hosting an NFC championship game.
Yeah, that would be nice.
All right, hypothetically, let's say Michigan State, Oregon, and Cincinnati all lose a game before the end of the season. Who should be the fourth playoff team, assuming Georgia, Bama, and Ohio State make it?
Wow.
This is the toughie.
If Oklahoma's down, if Oklahoma State runs the table, I think they would be the one. But if not, I know they lost to Cincinnati, so it would be Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, you say, okay, well, Notre Dame.
But they'd have one loss.
They'd have one loss. Oklahoma State, if they do run the table, they'd have one loss.
Right.
And they would have beat Oklahoma at the end of the year and probably have to beat them again in the Big 12 championship game. And that has been a series that Oklahoma State has not fared well.
They're beating Baylor too, right?
No, I think they beat Baylor. They got to play Texas Tech this week.
Right.
Then they play Oklahoma.
Right.
And then obviously it could be a rematch of Bedlam in the Big 12 championship.
I thought the most telling thing out of the CFP last night was Reese Davis really just sobered me up in terms of, he said he thinks the most likely four playoff teams are Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, Cincinnati, and Notre Dame. And you start thinking that out, and that if Georgia loses or beats Bama, he's right. What a sucky playoff.
I know. Oh, yeah. And that's why I don't like Cincinnati even being close, because if you put Alabama and Cincinnati on the same field,
I know we'll get to this later, but the merit, you gotta count the results. And a lost team versus an undefeated.
Against who? That's the thing.
Notre Dame, another team. Right, exactly. Notre Dame, who's ranked 7th. Or it's 8th right now.
One time, they had to get up once all year long.
All right, we got sidetracked here. All right, so we all know Jared Goff has played pretty awful this season. And now in a deleted tweet, Terrell Pryor said, Jared Goff is terrible. Myself and Kaepernick could go on the field this second and do better. Do you think either would be better than Goff?
Well, in regards to that statement, I don't disagree with the first part. Jared Goff has played terrible. The second part, I don't know. Because in 2013, that was the last time Terrell Pryor played the quarterback position in the NFL. It's been since 2016 since Kaepernick has. I don't even know what we would be looking at if they stepped on the field right now.
I agree with you. Jared Goff has been terrible. Pryor's right there. But I say no, because who knows what kind of shape they're even in. So, yeah, if we're going to sit there and say, yes, if we somehow magically take Kaepernick, to where where he was when when the incident happened and prior, whatever, yeah, then maybe, but no.
Pryor's laughable, but I actually think Kaepernick would be better. Just personal opinion there. All right.
Yeah.
We all know the Lions tied on Sunday and nobody likes ties. I want each of your plans to fix the NFL overtime and eliminate ties.
Well, I've been going over this for a long time, and it's simple. Sudden death. That's it. You play until there's a score. After the way they do it now, where each team gets possession.
The destination is on your left.
Until you score. That way, you can't.
Washington Avenue.
I agree. I don't think I do like both teams having possession of the football, but as soon as they have, then you play until somebody scores.
Yes.
There's no time limit. I don't care if you're going to play 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. If the teams are that bad, then they need the extra reps.
I love that point. All right, Rex Ryan said, "Don't ever compare me to that guy," referencing Robert Saleh and the Jets defense versus the Bills last Sunday. What two coaches, including former coaches, would you pay to see fight?
Oh, it's simple. I want Schwartz and Harbaugh. I mean, it's a layup. I just would love to see them go at it.
I think that would be good, but I would love to see the two guys that are known for, you might say, iron jaws, steel jaws. That would be Bill Cowher and Dave Wannstedt.
Wow.
See those two guys go at it. I think that would be awesome.
How about this? I just thought of this, because you mentioned Rex. How about Rex versus Rob Ryan?
Yes.
Oh, my Lord. That'd be fun.
The sumo wrestling.
Yeah.
All right, finally, the AFC has become a jumbled mess. Give me your 4 division winners and 3 wildcard teams and seed them.
Wow, this is very tough, okay? My 4 division winners: Buffalo, Baltimore, Tennessee, Kansas City. The wild cards. And you look at schedules, and it might come down to the Cleveland-Cincinnati game at the end of the year, but I'm going to avoid that. My wild cards are going to be New England, the Chargers, even though Bosa has got COVID, and the Indianapolis Colts. Their schedule's hard, but they've been playing pretty good football, so I'll see them like this. Tennessee won, by Buffalo, Kansas City, Baltimore, New England, Chargers, and Indy.
Yeah, and we don't differ very much. I've got the same division winners. I've got New England.